Those are the planes that usually interrupt my videos. Those guys fly low. Archers here, I can finally get back out in the woods and on my trap line. Collecting walnut hulls to start dyeing traps. That's what we're doing. Alright, yeah, so the new baby is born. Mommy and Archer are both very healthy and happy. Dad can get back out in the woods now. So I know you guys have seen me talking about it, and I haven't really done it yet. And I am a trapper. So we're gonna start running our trap line out. I got a late start for the year, but that's okay. I have a couple different methods in mind that I want to give a shot when it comes to trap prep. I plan on having a little bit more time on my line this year to be able to actually tend things. So we're also going to be abandoning the use of wax this year. And I'm not going to use Full Metal Jacket. I'm not going to use anything to help my trap stop from freezing. And the purpose of that is because I want to take my trapping methods and try to return them to as much as possible, or as close as possible, to the practices of the mountain men and free trappers. They didn't treat their traps with wax. They would... Most of the mountain men trap beavers, so the traps were underwater. You didn't have the complications that come with land trapping, but there are complications of their own that comes with water trapping. Everybody's kind of been waiting and anxious because you can't find these anywhere else. You'll never see these anywhere else. You can only find them here. Unicorn balls. Our little flammable unicorn balls. Harvested from 8 hours north of Windsor in Canada. Oh, look at that. I left my ferro rod in my pocket and I didn't lose it. I mean, what kind of man loses his ferro rod because he sets it on a rock and walks away for a few minutes? Now, if you guys are looking at this like, okay, that's dirt and not clay, that's on purpose. I don't need clay on this, okay? I just need it. This is a temporary thing. It's just to get my traps boiled, and it's not permanent. So I'm not worried about the clay. I'm not worried about things breaking down. I just need it sealed up, for the most part, airtight. Now, it should be said to make sure you're not downwind of the smoke blowing on this, because that is made out of galvanized steel. Galvanized steel puts off fumes when it's heated, so stay out of the way. This is boiling away just as it should be. Let's go ahead and talk about my traps as I'm putting them in here. I'll talk about snares at another time. Snares I don't treat with my regular traps. I don't ever treat my snares. I take them out and I hang them. This is my only, if I remember right, this is an MB550. This is my only MB550. Because these are ridiculously expensive traps. These are like my predator traps first, mainly coyote, because that's really the only predator we have in my area. This is one of my number 2 Duke square jaws. You can see I got jaw laminates welded on there. This one I have a shock chain or a shock on it. Okay, this is actually another one of my my Minnesota brand traps, my MB brands. But this one I found at a flea market, so I only paid like $5 for it. It's a number 1.5, little coon trap. It's got the 3 swivels in there. I've caught a coyote in this. Well, I've caught a coyote toenail in this trap, and then I caught the coyote in a snare 3 weeks later. Biggest coyote that I've caught, he was like 57 pounds. I had state biologists contacting me to that they wanted to test him to see if it was like one of those hybrid coy wolves, and it's just a coyote. He's a Big Mac version of a coyote. Most often in used carry traps are number 1.5 Dukes. I've caught fox in these, I've caught coons, I catch possums, I catch skunks in them. This is what I do a majority of my trapping with, because I am mainly a fox and coon trapper. These guys are nice, lightweight traps. I can carry like 10 to 15 of them at a time, and it's not all that bad. Another one of my most often carried and used traps are Duke 1 3/4. They'll hold a coyote. Normal that I carry out into the field is 7 to 10 number 1.5 Dukes and 3 to 5 1 3/4, and then I'll usually carry 1 or 2 number 2s with me. So 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. The rest of those are 3/4. And then my number 2s are also night latched. If you guys don't know what night latch is, go ahead and look that up. You go check out Nate 408. He's pretty good about explaining trapping terms and things like that. And he's really good about helping the community out too. So if you guys have like questions about terminology, go check out Nate 408. I'm not going to dig into the terminology of it because I just want to get my traps out. I'm halfway through my season and I haven't got to have my traps out because we just had a new baby. Little boys don't live this lifestyle. I will leave those in there to boil and die in the walnut hulls for, I try to focus on 2 to 3 hours for a boil time, but I'll probably leave them in there overnight because it's not going to hurt anything. see how they all came out. Boiled them, and then I've left them sitting here for 2 days. So they are really good and black. Oil film all over them. Wow, look at these things. So black. I do want to try to get all the little, like, pieces of walnut hull off of here. Man, look how black these traps are this year. This is awesome. This is going to be a really good patina coating to help them not rust, considering I'm not using wax this year. Yeah, and they smell like walnut. So that's another thing too. They use wax to seal in the steel smell. But my thinking on that is you're driving a stake into the ground that's untreated. So, I mean, some guys treat their stakes, but as soon as you hit it the first time with your hammer, you're breaking the wax off the top. So they're going to smell the steel no matter what. Your baits and lures are there, or they're in a blind set because you're relying on the animal being distracted and not necessarily taking the time to smell for steel. Now you'll get your smart ones here and there, but look how black that trap is. This is my MB550. But this patina that we just did with these walnut hulls, it protects them from rusting. There's oils in the walnut hulls that we extract through this whole process. And those oils are staying all over my traps. I mean, look at my gloves already. So, B550, ID tag, quick link, Wolf Fang earth anchor. That's ready to go in the ground. Okay, so my 1.5s, I will generally use a Wolf Fang anchor. What, Miss Hen? I just prefer these over rebar because I can carry 6 of these to 1 rebar stake. So the trade-off in weight is there. The holding power on these is so much more. It's a lot stronger. There we go. That is my standard coon setup. 12-inch Wolf Fang, 12-inch Wolf Fang on a quick link to a swivel. There's my ID tag and a number 1.5, and here comes our grain truck. More earth anchors. And here, I'll just explain these instead of going through the whole process of making them, because there's all kinds of tutorials out there on how to do this stuff. And I'm just going to keep things simple for you. So I take a 18-inch section of cable. This is 1/8 inch galvanized 7x7 cable. I take 2 inches and I make a loop in the end. Use an aluminum ferrule and crimp that. I crimp in my vise because I don't have a cable swagger. I think that's what they're called. And then I make another 2-inch loop down where my actual earth anchor itself is going to go. Put that through the eye on the anchor and crimp your ferrule on. And that gives me anywhere from a 12 to 15-inch cable that I end up working with. Okay guys, that's what I do for my traps. That's all I'm really doing to get them ready this year. Make sure you go down there, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for further notifications, smash that thumbs up. Make sure you come back next time if you guys want to see us setting traps in the ground. I got a lot of nuisance to take out this year around our homestead. I've got a bunch of nuisance animals on farms that I need to catch up on trapping this year because I didn't get out on my line much last year. We will be doing lives out on the trap line. We'll be running probably another 20 to 30 mile of trap line this year. For what's left of the season. I'm getting a pretty late start here, but we just had a new baby, so we're still getting out there. We're gonna do what we do and see what we can do to help the farming community take care of some pests in the area. I don't necessarily trap for fur numbers. I try to trap to help people, and it's worked out pretty well for me so far. I will see you guys out on the trap line. Remember, find your way.